Hey Andrew,
Hello.
how you doing, buddy?
I'm alright. Just mostly busy with everything else this semester right now.
You've done well. Looking at a lot of the things that you've done, you did good in your did okay in your week 10 midterm exam. You
Yeah.
did really well in your week 8 project. Did good with your week 6 project. So you're doing well in the course.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and you're also taking care of all your Zybook um items as well.
Yeah.
Um, from what I see here, aside from the Zybook assignments, there's only a couple of those left, maybe three
hmm
left, and then there's four projects, including the final web project. But you're doing good with those, and
Yeah.
then the an exam, one more exam, and that's
Yeah.
it. We're done.
Yeah. hmm
Um, do you have um anything for me? I mean,
Um,
any questions, anything at all? I mean, you've been doing well. So
I mean, like, besides like last week, because I'm still trying to figure out like what to really do with like obviously the JavaScript part of like the website, but
oh, which
I know
one?
like
Which
last
one? Because there's a lot of it. So,
Yeah,
you
I think
know,
it's just like trying to put it into like HTML because I've been trying to like do that and it doesn't seem like it's working.
mm,
I tried doing that like for last week's stuff. I'm right now just trying to see if I can like build like a foundation of stuff for the website right now and then like
mhm.
fix it up in the following weeks basically right now.
Which is great because that, it's most of the stuff that you're going to be handing in. It's an accumulation of the real estate website you've been working on all along.
hmm
So as you make that better and as your JavaScript ends up being a little bit better, just fix that and then make sure that you meet the requirements for, that week. Um,
Yeah.
and then just take that and that's going to be for the following week and then just add whatever you need to add and then
Yeah.
just keep going.
Yeah.
So if you do that, it won't be so bad because
Okay.
again, you're building on what you've done already. And what
hmm
I've seen here, you actually have done well. Usually what a lot of guys do and when they're out there and they're working for somebody else, they'll go to, and I know a lot of professors don't recommend ChatGPT
Yeah.
Claude and all of these other things. But if you need a snippet of code just to at least see how it works, what the correct syntax is,
hmm
you could always do that.
Yeah.
And then take it, fix it, and modify it so that it fits what you're doing in your website. And then
Yeah.
there you go. Because
Yeah.
not everybody has all the answers.
hmm
Zybook will give you certain things, they'll give you little bits of syntax. You could use it this way and that way. But a lot of times, to get a piece of code to work in the flow of your program, sometimes you need a little bit more. You need a
Yeah.
little bit more of an example,
Yeah.
you know. And I don't have a problem, with ChatGPT. As long as the whole thing doesn't come from ChatGPT and it's mostly
Yeah.
your work and you just need a little piece to do something,
hmm
maybe for some animation, for maps, right? All
Yeah.
of that counts towards your stuff for JavaScript going forward. And
hmm
trust me, JavaScript is a heck of a lot easier than Java. If we had to
Yeah.
add Java stuff, it would not be good. And you
Yeah.
probably couldn't do it this way. But
Yeah.
JavaScript is easy because JavaScript is almost a plug and play. Okay.
hmm
And then what you do is you take it and you put it in your .js file, and then you could always call it from there.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do their error handling with JavaScript, in your contact form,
Yeah.
and that counts towards what you need to do in your projects. And I
hmm
count that stuff. So a little animation, maybe some mapping, make sure you do your error handling in there. And you're going to be pretty much good to go for your next couple of assignments.
Yeah.
All right. But
Hmm.
you're going down the right path.
Okay.
All right. Don't go crazy. Just, little snippets of stuff. Because a lot of
Yeah.
people, what they do is they want to build the moon when all you have to do is actually just build a rocket ship.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and the thing is, the more stuff you want to add, and if it doesn't go right and there are errors, it's going to count against you. As
Yeah.
opposed to if you would have kept it simple, just do the stuff that's required, you know, you would have gotten a 90,
Yeah.
100. Just keep it simple. Just meet the
Okay.
requirements and you're good to go.
Okay.
All right. But you've been doing great. So no worries here.
Mhm.
Any other questions or anything?
Not really, no.
Okay. I mean, there's really nothing else for me to add. That was actually a fantastic question.
Yeah, thank you.
And hopefully anyone else that actually will be reviewing this, um, if they can't make the meeting, looks like it's just you and me for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bunch of people actually that, can probably use the help. Have you used the tutor? That's in the
Mo I haven't been able to, mostly just because I've been so busy with everything else. I've been just doing a whole bunch of projects. It's like have motion graphics, animation, and right now I'm having to like even like film a actual scene for
Whoa.
something.
Nice. Anything
Yeah.
Marvel or Star Wars?
I wish.
Well, good luck with that, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you've been doing well here. I'm sure you're doing well in those other things. So
Yeah.
again, anytime you have a question or anything like that, I will have more meetings like this, but you could always email me and then I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. So, I mean, it's going to be 2:10. There's nothing really else for me to, no more, additional news except for,
Yeah.
of course, do well. Make sure you get your
Mhm.
stuff in on time, which you've been doing.
Yeah.
Make sure you finish all your Zybook stuff because, that's just points being lost on the table if
Yeah.
you guys don't get it done. But again, yeah, you've been great. So, all right, buddy. You can drop
All
off.
right.
I'll probably hang out for a couple more minutes to see if anybody else joins.
Okay.
All right,
All
man.
right.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Right. You guys have heard what I just told Andrew. Make sure you guys get, I've said this before in other meetings. The only reason really that people fail this course is because they don't hand in their projects, their assignments. Those are, if you don't do that, you're going to get a zero and you're not going to pass. So, anyone that tries, anyone that does the work, anyone that hands in their stuff, I always give partial credit to whatever you hand in, even though it may not meet 100% of the requirements. So definitely get your stuff in, make sure it's there. Even if you hand it in a week late, you also always get, minus the 10% off. You do get, partial credit. At least you get something better than a zero. So, again, hand your stuff in. I'm even willing to wait an additional week if something happens, or if you let me know in advance that, let's say you're in a team and you guys are on the road, you're visiting other schools, and you need a little bit of time off or a little bit of extra time to get your projects done, that's not a problem. You guys can definitely do that. Where I have an issue is where you don't do your um, assignments for 3 or 4 weeks, and then you expect to come back and actually get them done. And unfortunately, I have a lot of classes that I have to grade for, and I just don't have the time to go back and start grading stuff from 3 or 4 weeks ago. So you need to be diligent um, with your stuff to make sure you get it in on time or even a week late, you know. Get your stuff in. If you have an issue, something happens and you need a little bit of extra time, you need to let me know ahead of time, not 2, 3 weeks after the case, okay? That's not going to work. So, again, people that pass the course are the ones that actually just get their stuff done. The people that don't pass are the ones that fail to hand in their assignments. And then it's just, there's nothing I could do if you don't hand in your assignment and I have nothing to grade. So, um, it looks like it's just going to be me. Um, and I wish all of you, all of those that are looking at this video after the fact, and of course, Andrew, that did join in, a great weekend. Again, we only have a few more weeks of the course, and then it's over. I'm going to be grading week 11 very, very soon. You have week 13, 12, 13, the exam coming up, and then the final web page development project, which is, again, more additional things that you need to do to your real estate website. Please, please, please make sure you get those done and you get them done on time. And then you have about, let me see, I think it's about 3 more Zybook week 12, 13, and 15, and that's it. So 3 more Zybook assignments, and that's it. Course is over. So make sure you get these in on time so I can grade them, and then we go from there. Take care and have a good weekend.